Oh Lord, y'all. I have been this whole entire time talking to myself. Oh my God. And I've been here talking. Oh, well, it's just 14 seconds. But I've been here following the breadcrumb trail, literally leading y'all to Paul Rubin. Now we've gotten to damn Paul Rosenberg. But I want everybody to understand the connection between Puffy. So let me try this again. Now, let's go back. We're going to go back. We're going to go press the space bar. Just go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Going back. That's my chair. Go back. Absolutely. Now, we got to Lucian Grange, who's one of the now we were at Def Jam Records, of course. And there we go. Come on. Now, we're going to leave Monty Lipman. Mm, exactly. Now, we came to Elliott Grange. Hit that back. What the hell is this doing? Let's go back. Because this is just fucking ridiculous. This computer is so slow. It's incredible. Okay, now here we go. Okay, now we're at Elliott Grange. Elliott Grange basically, of course, is he is the don't do that. He is the young son of his father is Lucian Grange. Lucian Grange is the CEO of Universal Records. Universal Records, one of the most powerful record companies in the whole entire freaking world. Put that up there. Thank you very much. Now, Lucian Grange, of course, is a puppet master when it comes to Puffy. Now, if you think Puffy, now Puffy is pretty powerful in the industry. But Puffy's basically just he's a puppet. Lucian Grange is the most powerful music executive in the industry. He's 64 years old, born in 1960 in North London, London. Now, it even says so, I believe, in Billboard. Here we go. Who is the most powerful person in the music industry? Billboard named Lucian Grange as the first ever executive of the decade after he topped the magazine's Power 100 list as the most powerful person in the music industry in 2013, 15, 16, 19, and 2022. He's the only person to ever hold that distinction more than once and for consecutive years. You're that powerful specifically for one reason, because you know how to shit on people, because you have connections, and most of all, because you know your business intrinsically well. You know the ins and outs of this particular business, and most of all, you know what you're doing. Now, we're going to go to his son. Elliot Grange is the discoverer of Ice Spice. He's the discoverer of what's it, Sexy Red. He also works very closely with P. Diddy. He also works very closely with Drake. Um, and also too, even Justin is up here concerning connection. Now, Elliot Grange, which is Lucian's father, it's almost like Lucifer, no sweet Lord. Now, mind you, he's married to a young lady by the name of Sophia Richie, which is Lionel Richie's daughter. Now, here we go. Now, let's go ahead and see who. Now, we actually have Elliot Grange up here. Now, we know he's the founder of 10,000 Projects. He's a Hatler. He's also a financial backer of a lot of artists out there. But I want you to become familiar with one particular lady. Then we're going to go to another lady. Her name is Christina Korm. Christina Korm is Puffy's handler. Mind you, she's the lady who handles all the scandals that Puffy's going through right now. More than likely, she's literally tearing her hair out right now. Or she probably doesn't have a job because she's done her job incredibly awful. But you can't really blame her. Now, Christina Korm leaves Puffy organization. Of course, she's leaving because she doesn't want to be associated with the scandal. Now, who is Christina Korm? Diddy's chief of staff in sex scandal, according to a since deleted as of March 28, 2024, according to a since deleted LinkedIn profile. Corum joined Combs Bad Boy Entertainment as senior executive liaison in early July 2013. So she's Puffy's Diddy's chief of staff. Knowing Diddy, she knows where all the bodies are buried. Now, mind you, I'm gonna need for you to remember her because I'm not gonna say she's the Ghislaine Maxwell of what's going on. Absolutely not. But I can tell you this, she was probably akin to and saw a lot of really inappropriate behavior going on. Now, we know who Puffy is. We know who Stevie J is, all these other characters going on. Let me introduce you to a very powerful man. His name is Monty Lippman. Now, we've got Puffy. We know Puffy's in trouble. He is literally about to be eviscerated, or he's being eviscerated right now. Let me introduce you to Monty Lippman. Monty Lippman is the CEO of Republic Records. Mind you, he knows Lucian Grange very, very well. And mind you, he helped sponsor and facilitate the buying CEO of Republic Records. Republic Records just bought all of Def Jam, or they're at least major market holders of Def Jam Records. Def Jam Records is responsible for Run DMC, also responsible for other acts too as well. But who also belongs to Run DMC? Oh, who belonged to Run DMC and was a major artist and factor of Def Jam? Exactly. He's in Bali now, and that's Russell Simmons. Also, not only Russell Simmons, but also too. Now, keep in mind, who's the owner of Republic Records? We already know that. Did Republic Records buy Def Jam? Yes, they did. Def Jam has sold to Republic and Atlantic Records, has sold to Def Jam has sold to Republic, and Atlantic Records lays off staff, tons of staff to be quite frank with you. Now we're going to go back to now that we understand who's going to be like the puppet master. Now, mind you, Lucian Grange, which is the 64-year-old guy, he's a major puppet master behind everybody. But his son, it's said that his son is pretty nefarious as well. Now, this Monty Lippman, he, from what I've heard, is extremely manipulative, and mind you, he orchestrated this deal. Mind you, I've always felt that he basically kind of Rick. Now, mind you, one of the major benefactors of this deal, who probably did not want to sell. Now, mind, he's one of the major artists. He did a song with Jay-Z called 99 Problems. That's Rick. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let's go to Jam. Def Jam Records. Let's type them in for a little bit. Now, we know who Monty Lippman is. Now, Def Jam Records. There we go. Def Jam Recordings. Now, this is the new home. This is exactly this is exactly the company that Monty has just bought. Let's look at the artist roster. Kind of give you an idea who's going to be on the chopping block, but also, too, who's now being held in check because of Puffy's bullcrap. This will also give you an idea of who more than likely who's on those tapes. We know 2 Chainz, okay? Armani White. Some of these people, I have no idea who the hell they are. Benny the Butcher, Big Sean. I don't know. I know who Big Sean is. Banju Baton. I'm not going to say they're going to be on the tapes. Hold on. Some of these folks, I have no idea who they are. Chuck D. Just look at some of the people. Now, mind you, why are these DMX? DMX has been gone. Fabulous DJ Khaled. We know DJ Khaled is on those tapes, definitely. But and who would care? Jada Kiss, Jalene Jose. Some of these folks, Jeezy, I've never heard of some of these people. Justin Bieber is on this. We know Justin Bieber's on the tapes too. But you see the roster of Def Jam. Now, mind you, Republic Records, Monty just bought Republic Records from from Rick. What's his name? No, we'll come across to him. Now, mind you, look at some of these people. LL Cool J. Now, some of these old heads been around the business for some time, but take a long look with Republic Records. Rihanna, yes, Rihanna is part of Def Jam, and so that means that Monty is part of as part of our catalog. Rihanna is a hugely popular artist and a hugely powerful artist, extremely. Tiana Taylor, that we do know, and Zaya France. I don't know. I don't know who these people are. Definitely not. Now, Def Jam is still a very, very powerful record label, and Monty just received this label. Now, the founders is Rick Rubin and Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons, being one of the founders, no longer one of the founders. He's since sold it. Now, Rick Rubin is the one I meant to talk about. Rick Rubin is one of the most notorious womanizers in all of the record industry. What Bad Boy did to booty holes, Rick Rubens did to vaginas, and did so horribly. Absolutely. This man, even though right now in his 60s or 70s, he looks like Father Time, and he looks like 1,000 years old. But back in his heyday, around about 20 to 30 years, 40 years ago, or as recently as 20 years ago, this man was an incredible, incredible philanderer and, share listen, total womanizer. Though right now he likes to pretend that he's quite Buddhist and that this is all behind him. Now, it absolutely is not. It is not. Now, we know that Rick Rubin and Russell Simmons are part of the owners. So they're part of the founders of Jeff Jams. Just so happens that both of them are freaking rapists. At least one of them we know is a rapist. And also understand something. Birds of a feather always flock together. Now, but we can't rightfully and fairly assume that Mr. Rubin, is a rapist, because Russell is. But this is the music industry. I guarantee you, it's just like that. It is like that. So we don't leave Rick Rubin alone now, knowing that he has a new boss. He's a new daddy called Monty. Now let's go back to that lead call. I want to introduce you to someone else. Now we're back to Lucian Grange. Now we're back to Monty Littman. Hi, Monty. Now he now owns Def Jams. Now, owning Def Jam and owning one of the most largest luxurious music catalogs. So I'm speaking about Rihanna. Thank you very much. He has access to that. All that he has access to that money and that potential. Hmm. Now you're asking, what the hell does that have anything to do with Puffy? Let's see who Puffy belongs to. Bad Boy Records belongs to. Now we're getting somewhere. Hi, Nosy. Hi, honey. Hello, everybody. Now let's see exactly who Puffy Bad Boy Records belongs to. Here we go. Now we got to get to the meat and potatoes. Now, mind you, we just went to Christine Coram. Christine Coram, of course. Now, again, I'm not going to call her Ghislaine Maxwell, but she's almost pretty fucking there. Now, let's go to Diddy. Come on, Diddler. My computer needs a bath. Come on. I can't believe I actually thought he was good looking, but so has many people. You find out he's a fucking devil. All right. New lawsuit alleges Puffy raped one other person. Of course, absolutely. Now let's see his business leanings. Sean Love Combs, known by his stage name Diddy, formerly Puff Daddy and P. Diddy, is an American rapper, record producer, and record executive. Blah, 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 blah. Now, which labels represents Puffy? Motown, Epic, Interscope, Atlantic, Bad Boy, BMD, Universal, Arista, and Uptown. Let's go to Universal. Now we're kind of backtracking a little bit, but hey, Universal Movie Music Group. Envy is a Dutch American multinational music corporation under Dutch law. Let's see who owns Universal. We just saw him. Now, mind you, this is Universal Music Group. Now, Universal Music Group CEO, we just saw him. It's Lucian Grange. Hello, Lucian. Hi. How are you? Just for shits and giggles, how much money do you make a year? This has nothing to do with anything. But Lucian Grange is now, as of 2011, he's called Sir Lucian Grange. He now because he's been knighted by probably by the Queen. Absolutely, of course he has. He's another notoriously nefarious British man. There have been plenty of them. Talk about colonialism all across the whole fucking world. But hello, Mr. Lucian Grange, and of course your son. Now your son, of course, is married to Sophia Ritchie of Lionel Richie, but that has neither here nor there. Now, this man right here, Lucian Grange, we know about his son, which is Elliot Grange, who's founded Ice Spice and a lot of the young rap startups out here, and we're going to tap into that later. And his nefarious and basically making our ears bleed with all these mumble rappers out here. These two people, Elliot and Lucian Grange, has brought down the reputation as well as the legacy of rap and hip hop in the last 15 years, more so than any two people ever have, especially his big Diddy. Lucian Grange. Let's see how much money he makes. Salary. I'm just curious. It's none of my business. Hmm, I just want to know. Now, okay. Hmm. I want to know Lucian Grange's. I want to know his net worth. Because money talks and bullshit walks every day. Let's see how much money this fucker has. Here we go. Lucian Grange network. Now, you know they're going to tell me. Now, keep in mind, you can't really trust this. It's usually off by several million. Us, blah, say, blah, blah, say, blah. Oh, it's a network of $250 million. Now, mind you, he didn't have as much as Puffy, but that's still a really nice chunk change. That's a nice piece of change. You can't really throw. I wouldn't throw it away. Of course not. So, and he is said to be the most powerful man in music. And UMG, the company he's over, CEO of, which is Universal Music Group worldwide, is worth $22 billion. You cannot tell me that man, he's the CEO of Universal Music Group, does not have enough power. Lucian Grange, I want to know, is he behind Ciroc? Okay. Now we know Puffy. Okay, let's go and look up Ciroc. Keep in mind Lucian Grange. Now we know Ciroc is a company that Puffy was behind. He actually even told us that he bought it. Puffy, you're such a liar. Lucian Grange behind Ciroc. Pay attention. Pay attention. Is Lucian Grange behind Ciroc? Clarifying the Diddy lawsuit, he allegations, conspiracy, and theory. Grange knew or should have known that Mr. Cohn was drugging the attendees through lace bottles of the Don Diablo tequila and Ciroc vodka. Wow. Oh, do we have a lawsuit all of a sudden as of February 27, 2024? That includes Lucian Grange. Diddy producer alleges UMG boss, CEO of Universal Music Group, quote, and I quote, knew or should have known about spiked drinks and new sexual assault lawsuit. Now we're beginning to understand why this concerted effort to take Mr. Combs down. Remember, $22 billion. He's the most powerful man in the music industry. We're starting to understand who's taking Puffy down. In the latest sexual assault lawsuit filed against Diddy, producer Rodney Elrod Jones claims that he was subject to and witnessed assault and harassment while working on the musician and mogul's latest album. He also says that Universal and its big boss, Lucian Grange, are complicit. I would believe Rodney. He has no reason to lie. Puffy, I don't know how the hell I thought you were handsome. Get out of here. Go away. All right, here we go. Now, Combs worked with Universal's Motown division on the release of Love album, and his former CEO, Ethiopia, is out in Ethiopia Habitatorium is I just butchered her name. Is also named as a co-defendant. Jones says that Universal sponsored and Grange, Lucian, attended listening parties at Combs' LA home. He alleges that sex workers and underage girls were present at these events and the of the female guests were routinely drugged. It is no secret that Mr. Combs had specific bottles of alcohol designated for females and other bottles designated for staff, his artists, and himself, the lawsuit claims. Grange knew or should have known that Mr. Combs was drugging the attendees through lace bottles of De Leon tequila and Ciroc vodka, it adds. Quote, as a sponsor of these events, defendant Lucian Grange, CEO of Universal Music Group, that's over $22 billion. This Grange had a duty and obligation to ensure that sex workers and underage girls were not present and that Mr. Combs was not spiking the alcohol with date rape drugs. Now it goes on and on and on and on. Okay? My sweet Lord. Whew. Child, you can go through that yourself. I just caught something about list of homosexuality. I'll just, sweet Lord, and then Stevie J was trying to get his booty and everything. Listen, plenty of these men went to homosexual universities, such as myself, and took classes, but I am no rapist. Thank you, Lord Jesus. So listen, my God. It's just, and then another one. Northeastern Board of Trustees member named defendant filed a motion to dismiss all his claims made against him last week. Okay. Lucian Grange Trust Board of Trustees. Let's see what's going on with Lucian Grange, CEO of Universal Music Group, one of the most powerful men in the most powerful in the music industry, said so by Billboard Music. What else is he going through? What trouble is Lucian Grange in? Oh, Lord. Lawsuit alleges Northeastern Board of Trustees member aided and abetted sexual misconduct by Sean P. Diddy Combs. So what this means, Lucian Grange, the most powerful man in music, Puffy has made things very hard for him. Young Miami is talking too much. Now, what I want to find out, now we know that Lucian Grange is in trouble. He's going about, now keep in mind, a lawsuit filed last month lists a number of Northeastern B trustees as defendants in a sexual assault and trafficking case concerning rapper Diddy Combs. The suit alleges Lucian Grange, CEO of Music Group and member of the university's board since 2013, aided and abetted Combs' behavior by sponsoring gatherings where underage girls were reportedly drugged, raped, and provided vast sums of money to Combs, who allegedly used it to sex trafficking. Let me repeat that again. Lucian Grange is said to have aided and abetted Combs' behavior by sponsoring Lucian Grange giving money for gatherings where underage girls were reportedly drugged, raped, and provided vast sums of money, given money to Combs, who said to allegedly had used it for sexual trafficking. So it is said that Lucian Grange is now giving money to the diddler to traffic underage girls and probably underage boys across state lines. So there's all kinds of nefarious things going on. Now, what I want to know, since Puffy was making such a big chagrin about Ciroc, is Lucian Grange behind Ciroc? Mm. Oh my goodness. As of 3 weeks ago, UMG shareholders, now this we're back on Lucian Grange again, the most powerful man in music, rejecting Lucian Grange $90+ million payout. So, as of 3 weeks ago, Lucian Grange is trying to leave Universal. This is probably a bit of stretch, but all the discussion regarding UMG and Lucian Grange regarding his inclusion in the case against P. Diddy. This could be the shareholders' attempt to distance themselves from him. Go away. Total speculation, but I thought it was interesting. Glass Lewis said it has severe reservations about supporting the Dutch American company's pay decisions, which included 92 million share-based bonus for its British-born CEO that easily made up for a 51% cut in his salary to 75 million pounds. So what does this mean? Okay, here we go. Hold on. This is getting interesting. Advisory firm urges shareholders to reject excessive payout to Lucien Lagrange, while Renault may also face backlash. Everybody, you know who Renault is in Europe? It's not just the cars. They have Lynx and Rolex, Lynx and Ferrari, Lynx and Maserati. The Renault company is like the Arnault company. They're like the Arnault company of everything. They have links in foods, utilitarian projects. This is a multi-billion-dollar company. Mm. Lucien Grange is connected to them. This is going high up. Puffy's little diddling scandal is not just affecting celebrities, it's affecting deep, deep pocket companies. And Lucien Grange is the leadway into these deep pocket companies. That lets me know that Lucien Grange, him, more than likely, is probably on one of those goddamn tapes. Noticing how they're distancing, how these companies are starting to distance themselves from him completely. Lord, you see that, Lord. So what the hell is going on? We thought it was just about Puffy. It's not. It's about people with deep pockets, multinational companies that Puffy represented, people that Puffy was friends with, people that trusted him, people that wanted to be a part of the get along gang. They wanted to have fun. Puffy's a safe bet. He's been a safe bet for over 30 years. He's been a part of the yacht club. But we're now starting to understand whenever something is going on into the unknown. Okay, let me give you an idea of what Renault is based on. While Renault may also face backlash, when you see Renault, let's open another window. Renault. Here we go. Renault groups. Let's see what they're responsible for. Now we know Renault does the cars in Europe. We know that already, of course. Hold on. My browsers. What companies are under Renault? Here we go. And it's a lot. They're responsible for Renault, Dacia, Renault, Samsung Motors, Alpine, and Lada. What other Renault family? Who owns Renault Group? Why did Renault leave? Okay, hold on. Renault Group worth. Net worth. That's how much money they have. 15.32 billion euros. 15.32 billion euros. You mean to tell me that Puff Daddy and all his little diddling and all that little going on is now bringing in a company this fucking big? You see how the dominoes are starting to fall because one man could not keep his dingling in his pants and decided to beat on that young girl. You see how it's all starting to crash down. Okay. Now Renault, I'm gonna go back again. I'm gonna always ask you to keep Lucien Grange in the middle. Always keep him in your sights because he was the gateway. Puffy knew him and he knew Puffy. They're probably really close. He's the gateway into those other companies. He was Puffy's gateway into, more than likely, he probably wasn't the only one, but he was the gateway into those other companies. And this is why these people are taking Puffy down. Now, I still haven't found out, we found out serendipitously, but I haven't found out if Lucy LaGrange is part of Ciroc. But I guarantee you he probably is. Now, here we go. And here's even Lucy and Grange with Puffy right there. Look at them, bosom buddies. Let's tap on this article. Lucy and Grange and Puffy. Hmm. Child. And Lucy and Grange also has scandals too as well. Major scandals. Lucy and Grange, Sir Lucy and Grange, ready for war over a Diddy lawsuit. He's being brought into this lawsuit. And if Lucy and Grange, one of the most powerful men in the music industry, is being brought into this lawsuit, more than likely everybody's associated with him is being brought into the same damn lawsuit. Remember, fruit, poison of the tree of the poison fruit, or bee poison at the root. More than likely, other people are going to fall, and these are multinational companies. That's why this is such a very, very, very big deal. It's not just about Puffy and Cassie. P. Diddy had major, major connections concerning multinational companies. Now, Lucy and Grange, I'm still curious. Lucy and Grange and Ciroc. I want to know. Hold on, Ciroc. Was he ever part of Ciroc? Does he was he Ciroc bourbon, Ciroc, Ciroc liqueurs? Was Lucy and Grange ever part of Ciroc? Now that's when we found out, clarifying the lawsuit, which Lucy is actually part of. Now, who's the real owner of Ciroc? The real owner of Ciroc, of course, right here, is Did. However, Diego now has full ownership of Ciroc and De Leon, while Combs no longer has any business relationship with the company. Combs originally filed a lawsuit in May of 2022. He alleges Diego did not provide promised investment and treated Ciroc and De Leon. They treated him as inferior urban brands after acquiring competitors. Now, we know why Puffy is suing this company, but I want to know if Lucien Grange is a part of Ciroc. Now, we both know that Lucien Grange is very, very powerful. He's been in the music industry for over 45 years. I'm not seeing any connection with Lucien Grange and Ciroc. Okay, here we go. Lucien Grange, let me see. Let's type in the question. Is a part of Ciroc. Is Lucien Grange a part of Ciroc? Let's see. And yeah, let's clarify definitely. No, that they're not telling me that. And also, to a lot of these multinational companies, shareholders are kind of kept. They're kind of kept in the wind. They're kind of kept behind closed doors. But I guarantee you, he is. I guarantee you, Lucien Grange is part of Ciroc. And the reason why I say that, to mind you, um, Diddy's been suing Ciroc since 2022, and I guarantee you that's when him and Lucien Grange's relationship fell apart, and more than likely that's when Puffy started to get out of control, knowing how much money he's losing, but also too realizing that his relationships are starting to break up. Mm, no, I'm not seeing it. Now let's look at Ciroc shareholders. Let's see who's a part of Ciroc. Famous people. Let's see Ciroc shareholders. That's the cologne. I mean, that is the vodka uh, that Puppy's a part of, and That's who he was suing. Let's see who owns Ciroc. Let's see who the shareholders happen to be, if they need to share, if they're going to share them. Now, Ciroc is a brand of alcoholic beverage produced in France since 2003 and owned by British-based multinational company, beverage maker called Diageo. Now, shareholders. We know who owns it. Who are the shareholders? Now, as of 2024, January, Sean Diddy Combs and Diego settled, withdrew a lawsuit. Okay, they are going to settle out of court. Now, hold on. Yeah, it's not saying. No, it's not going to give. Oh, Ciroc shareholder list. There we go, right there. Let's see if we can get one. Ciroc shareholder list. Let's see. Who are the shareholders of Ciroc? I'll just ask that. Let me see. Ciroc. Let's see if we can find out here if there are any other celebrities or other multinational companies. More than likely, it's going to be multinational companies versus singular people. Other companies, because other companies will do that with other companies. They'll invest. Now, this is flavored vodka, brandy. Very good. 2007, Jay-Z. Jay-Z was an ambassador for the vodka brand for 2007. Hold on. Eva Pickford was one of those were promotions actually. No, lack of sponsorship disclosure. Yeah, they're not really branding placement definitely, but no, they're not really giving anywhere. Whereas sign on as just brand ambassadors, mostly rap people, mostly brothers and sisters. I mean, they know how to get their brand out there because black folks we have really beautiful brand loyalty. They're not going to give out shareholders, but we just know as Puffy as a front man. Now, we now learned that Puffy has since settled out of court with them. And that's a given. So we know that's not a really big deal. But one thing I want to do, who is Ciroc owned by? Diego. Let's check them out and see exactly. Well, actually, let's see what else they own. Because I want to know who are these people and this company. Now, Diego is a British multinational alcohol beverage company with headquarters in London, England. Okay, fine. Who are they with revenue of $23.51 billion GP? But who are they? Here we go. Hold on. Come on, damn it. What brands does Diego own? Diego owns Johnny Walker, Crown Royal, J&B, Butchkins, Bushins, Windsor Whiskies, Smirnoff, Kettle One Vodkas, Captain Morgan, Bailey's, Don Julio, Tanqueray, and Guinness. I don't know they own Guinness too. Sweet Lord. All right. Now, who is behind the people behind these spirits? That's when we get into the meat and potatoes of who's behind everything. Oh no, I don't want to go there. Israel owned by the Russians? Absolutely not. No, hell no. British when I even allow them on the boards. Now, I need to know people. I want to know people. Who's the company owned by? Okay, who owns Diego? This is now listen. They own Ciroc. They own Puff. Who owns it? Now I'm getting a lot of multinational companies. I need people. Owner Diego. The CEO as of 2023. Her name is Deborah Crew. Let's look at it. Let's look at who Deborah Crew is. Now she's the CEO of Now, she's the CEO of Diego. Now, she's 53, December the 20th, 1970. Let's see how many associations she has to Puffy. She's president and CEO of Diego. She's also board member of Mondelez International. This is a very, very important woman. Also, University of Denver, University of Chicago, Chicago Booth School of Business. Now, people to search for. These are the people that she's associated with. How much does she? No, I'm not interested in that. Deborah Crew. Who does she know? Now, we still have Deborah Crew that's there. Now, Evan, many as these people I don't know. I don't have no association with them. Okay, hold on. Deborah Crew, of course, the CEO of Diego. Who else is she associated with? Now, it looks like she keeps her nose clean. Diego Board, they appointed her last year. Now is associated with, hmm, who is she associated with? Now she's an American girl. Okay, Deborah Pruitt, chief executive, has been a director of the company since 2023. Ms. Cruz, the chief executive, Diego plays a global leader in beverage alcohol, a position she's held since 2023. All righty. Now, hmm, Deborah Crew, let's type in Deborah Crew and Sean Combs. Let's see what we can get from that scandal. Now, of course, due that May the 31st, 2023, Sean Diddy Combs accuses drink giant Diego of racism. New allegations from teams Ciroc and Leon. Lawsuit against Spirit Brand Diego has been made public. They settle out of court. We both know that. Now, mind you, this is a British company. They probably have kept themselves very clean. Definitely. Mm. As of January 18, Diego on decline of Sean Combs' business. Diego wins first round in Diego lawsuit. And Diddy relationship doesn't really seem like anything going on. So this is a clean break concerning Puffy Combs. The only reason why I really wanted to know who Diego was because I wanted to understand the people behind it. This is a really, really big company, and they probably know how to keep their nose clean. Puffy's not the only artist concerning that's been utilized as an ambassador. He is one of the most famous, and he was only an ambassador. More than likely, he owns stock, probably owns stock in the company too as well. He wasn't just paid to represent the lot company; he was a part of the company. So more than likely, He's probably one that stayed on or that kept him on. All right. So now, do y'all have any questions so far? It gets really odd, but we started to understand exactly how and exactly where all this leads. It just doesn't stop with Puffy. Whenever you're in Hollywood, Hollywood itself has a tendency to attract people from all different cultures, from all different walks of life. And what happens is that people are enamored by the music industry. They're enamored by the Hollywood industry. It attracts all kinds of people. But most people don't understand how nefarious this field, this it is. The Hollywood industry can be very nefarious, and most people forget that. Now we can find shareholders in certain companies, but we definitely can get an ending and an understanding that well, Puffy is not just bringing down himself; he's bringing down whole entire companies, and these are multinational companies. Definitely, Diego is known for holding some of the biggest brands in alcoholic beverages across the whole entire world. Now, mind you, it's headed up, but I want to know something. big time. They replaced with a female. That's unheard of. Now, mind you, I want to know Deborah Crew. Now, Deborah Crew was made a Diego executive. Now, this is what my spidey senses are telling me. That Deborah Crew, hmm, Diego executive before Deborah Crew. Who is, who would that have been? I want to know who would have been an executive before Deborah Crew. Before Deborah Crew. Let's see who it was. Who was the previous executive of Diego? I guarantee it was a guy. Yep, it was. Sir Manuel Mendez was an Indian-born British American executive. Let's see who he is. Mind you, there's a whole entire picture of him. Something tells me he was ousted. Let's see why he was ousted. And mind you, he left June the 6th, 2023. When was Puffy's first discrimination case against Ciroc posted? Hmm, interesting. No, he died June the 6th, 2023. No, he passed away in 2023. And then they chose someone else. So they had that case going on. But I still want to understand Sir Ivan Manuel Mendez. And Puffy Combs. And Combs. Now, let's see. Now, he was an Indian American. Mhm. Yeah, he passed in June 6, 2023. That's why he dies at 63. Hmm. He passed away. I wonder if he had any dealings. Now, mind you, he was an Indian. He was what we call an English Indian or Indo English, English Indo. Anyway, Indian man, Indian, British Indian. Is that politically correct? Anyway, world's biggest spirits company was headed, died in 1963, passed away in 1963, definitely. Now, hold on. I want to know something. Hmm. And they chose a female. Why would they choose a female? And mind you, he was knighted. Let's see. Is there any scandal about him? Let's type in scandal. Hmm. Scandal. Hold on. Indian-born CEO Johnny Walker, recently knighted, sir, passed away due to complications, emergency surgery for an ulcer. Oh, bless his heart. He had humility and grace, but of all kindness. Oh, bless him. No, I'm not seeing any scandal. He was due to retire June the 30th, 2023. He passed on before he could retire. So no, he passed away. More than likely was a very sweet man. We're gonna keep Sir Ivan Manuel Mendies out of the mess that is Puffy. And more than likely, of course, now with Deborah itself, I just found it odd that he was a male and that they would then, after the accusations that Puffy's giving, and then also having an understanding of the accusations of his sexual exploits, that Diego would then place in a female in the space where a male once was. Sounds funny. It only sounds funny, everybody. I'm just being, of course, being cynical. But it sounds funny. But it sounds as if they were trying to head up bad scandal, or at least a sense of a sense of transparency, or a sense of saving face. You can't call us debaucherous or womanizers or anything like that. We can't. We're not affiliated with that womanizer. We have a whole woman at the head of our company. We're not affiliated with Puffy. It just felt, maybe I'm being cynical, probably being cynical, but it felt odd. She's probably extremely qualified, absolutely. But these multinational companies, this is a very powerful company. In fact, one of, if not the most powerful alcohol beverage company in the world. It felt like they were saving face. Who knows? Maybe they knew that they were going to start this whole entire scandal with Puffy. And they knew to get rid of him outright, of course. And this is so cynical. But maybe all of this was planned, and of course, giving face to a deeply qualified female recipient to head up all these companies. She was deeply qualified, so why not? It does make them look good, and it makes them look extremely progressive against and associated with a deeply troubled and womanizing man. You have to admit, all of this happened in 2023. Yes, Sir Ivan Mendez passed last year, untimely passing. But the choosing of a female seems, well, she was highly qualified, absolutely. But I know these British multinational companies, they don't usually do that. Why? I guarantee you they had heads up of what they were about to do. And trust me, quite a few of those executives had made this is an executives, the shareholders that has to make this decision. They all chose together. Fees are a very big deal, an incredibly big deal, and everyone's trying to save their face. Lucian, Puffy dragged him into it. One of the most powerful man in the music industry. He's been dragged into it with a lawsuit, and I guarantee you, other representatives, shareholders, and from Diego are going to be drawn further into this law. If this ever hits the court, you're going to see quite a few reps from that company too being drawn into this lawsuit. Absolutely. They're saving face, everybody. Understand that. Hi. Does this make sense to everybody? I hope it does. Now I know it's a long, elaborate, just drawn out, just following the beaten path. But it makes sense. You have to understand. I worked in corporate for over 21 years. The way these people think, it's strange how they think, but it always makes sense. And here we go. Now, the only reason why I'm mentioning it because I was on Clubhouse earlier with Nosy Ho and so many other brothers and sisters on there. We mentioned Puffy and all this debacle crap that's going on. It's like, where does this start? Where did it start and when does it stop? It stops when he goes to jail. Throw him under the jail. But where did it start? Now, working in corporate for some time, those good old boys, usually they're some of the worst in the company because they have got more money than all of us, more privilege, and there's a lot that they can do. They just know how to hide it better. So I'm pretty sure all of this started at high up. It all started very high up. But I wanted to find exactly how many people we could associate with Puffy and the takedown of him. Now, when I typed in Deborah Crew, who's the new representative for Diego alcoholic beverages, there were several people associated with her. Let's see who those people are, because we met one, and that's former head of Diego Liquors or Diego Alcoholic Beverages, who since passed away. But I want to know, who is Javier Ferrin? Who's he? Javier. Who is that? Chairman of Diego. Appointed chair of Diego, January 2017. University of Miami. He's another American that's over there. Is a Spanish businessman. He is a president and chief executive officer of Bacardi from 2023 to 2024. Ferran has been the chairman of Diego since 2017, when France Humor retired. His Diego tenure was renewed in 2023 for 3 further years and set to expire October 2025. Now, who is he affiliated with? Hmm, I'm interested to find out because my spider senses are telling me that we're getting further and further down the train. Now, this is March 19th, 2024. We're in May. Diego to appoint Sir as chairman. Now, mind you, they're going to put out Javier, he's leaving. They're more than likely going to appoint John Manzoni. Let's see who the hell he is. Okay, that's what they're saying. Now, hold on. Let's type in John Manzoni. Sir John Manzoni as chair succeeding Javier Ferrer. Let's see who the hell this is. Now, mind you, of course, they're not gonna do anything stupid. He probably has no associations with Puffy Combs, but I want to see if he has any associations with other businesses. The only reason why I'm doing that is to basically understand a lot of these people in these high end positions. They do what we call um, um, resume jumping, or they'll jump from one position to the next. It beefs up their resume big time. Now, mind you, he's the British senior civil servant and British business executive. Is a British senior civil servant and British business executive who serves as chief executive of the Civil Services and the Cabinet Office Permanent Secretary from 2014 to 2020. Hold on. There's no association. Diego's completely disassociated themselves from them. Completely. There's no association with Puffy. Not right now. Nope. And if there is, it's incredibly well hidden. Hmm. There we go. And there we go. Now hold on. Now what we got out of that basically was an understanding of, hold on, Lucien. Oh, there we go, Lucien Lagrange. Now let's just go back to Lucien, definitely. No, we don't really have to do that. We have a whole entire idea concerning and understanding just how powerful this man was. Too close, too closely connected to so many really key insiders in the industry. Mind you, use really horrible lack of judgment, and now he's going to be dragged into lawsuits. And mind you, he's probably quietly clearing out and or quietly getting rid of lawsuits or quietly distancing himself. But he's still associated. So the thing about it, the music industry and the entertainment industry itself, we're going to assume that these people are always locked in, but always check out the companies and check out the companies that are associated with them. They're going to try to distance themselves from them too, because with these lawsuits, especially if you get into civil lawsuits, anybody associated with these people, you see, as a CEO of Universal Music Group, he can be associated with that company. The company's attached to him at the hip. They sue him, they're going to sue the company too as well because he's a major representative of that company. As a CEO, he's a part of that company. It's a part of him. And of course, if he's a shareholder with other companies, a really good lawyer is going to reach out to those companies too, and then maybe sue them as well. So that's one of the reasons why with Lucid Grange, Renault is distancing himself from him because they don't want to be a part of it. because they more than likely they expect other lawsuits to happen, pretty much. And there we go. So we had to basically fall down that rabbit hole to understand exactly what Puffy's doing, how he's doing it, but also too what's being done. Ooh, and there we go. There we go. All right, y'all. So I hope y'all really enjoyed that deep dive. I enjoyed doing it. Ooh, wait a minute. There we go. I enjoyed implementing it. It was really nice. Unfortunately, we couldn't find that much mess on Diego concerning the music, the alcohol and liquor company that was letting him go. We couldn't find anything about that. But I do feel that there's a case that's there. It's probably me just being cynical. But instead, the last two people that we saw, CFO, CEO, chairman, they've all more than likely they're all men. Very few women are on the board. So they made a woman the most powerful aspect, the powerful. She's the head. She's the big boss over everybody. Trust me, they knew what was coming up the pipeline. The womanizing, all of that. And if I know these companies really well, they're going to do everything they possibly can to save face. Absolutely, honey. So there we go. But thank you, honey. Thank you very much. The thing about it is so much going on. Now, the one thing I did want to do, now me and Nosy Ho talked about it on Clubhouse, the killing and the association concerning Puffy and the murdering. Now we know of now, mind you, we were listing at least several people that were taken off by Puffy. Sweet Lord. And here we go. One of the reasons why I wanted to do the business first, Puffy is literally, I mean, he's a businessman. He's all about business. Great. But at the end of the day, oh Lord. Now, Puff Daddy, just type in Puff Daddy murders and let's see what pops up. Tupac and Biggie Shakur murders. So we know that. Sean Diddy Combs record labels marked by murder. Ooh. Okay. Now, mind you, let me see if I can go ahead on. I'm going to share this window really quick too. Stop screen. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, present. That's so cool. Yeah, it's excited to expose everything. It really truly is. Now hold on. Picture cool. Oh, perfect. Lovely. Very good. Okay, we have Sean P. Diddy Combs. Ew. So, I was just, oh my God. Never mind. Now, let's see all the people that he's associated with. The rumor. Now, I want to come across a young man, model, and we pointed him out. Model Esco. There. Remind you, model, a Sean John model. Hmm. Yeah, this young guy modeled for Sean John. Absolutely. His name was John Esco. No, hold on. Yeah, Rockaware and Sean John model Jabbar Esco Crosswell. Remains of the 30-year-old model and actor were identified yesterday. However, the cause of his death remains a mystery. Of course it does, because Puffy killed him. Everybody, his car was blown up the same exact way that Puffy wanted to blow up Kid Cudi's car after Kid Cudi was caught with Cassie. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. But he actually got to this guy. And all because, and it was rumored because um, Esco he was canoodling with Kim Porter. Hold on, I haven't been on gossip in a long time. Let's go on here. Fountaine, New Jersey. That was 2010, over 10 years ago. The window's not coming up. Okay. All right. Now, come on. Now, go back. Now, what I like to do, everybody, if I'm looking at the images, what I'll do is that I'll actually go into images. Now, we are on Google. Google is not really good for images, not really good for anything, to be quite frank with you. But people searching. Let's go find a really great place. Now, that's Lipstick Alley. We saw this image before. Okay, there we go. Yeah, in Lancer Township, PA. Yeah, this is exactly where we were. Oh, at the time of his death, Lancer was a new dad there. Now, his car was blown up, just like Kid Cudi's car. Mind you, he was with Kim Porter. She had fell in love with him, and they were canoodling. Everybody suspects that Diddy had him killed, of course. So that's one. Now we all know about Biggie and Tupac. Those are three. Let's go and talk about Heavy D. Heavy D, death rumors. What did Heavy D die of? To be quite frank with you, what did he pass away with? The sudden death of Heavy D is known to pulmonary embolism caused by deep vein thrombosis. Coroners have announced the rapper was killed by a blood clot that probably formed in his leg during a flight from London to Los Angeles, which made its way fatally to his lung. It's a blood clot. Okay. Now, hmm, yeah, pulmonary embolism caused by DVT. I don't know about that. Okay. Now, as far as Puff Daddy's girlfriend, not Misa Hilton, which is Kim Porter. What did she die of? What did she die of? Kim Porter died lobar pneumonia after several days of flu-like symptoms. Hmm. Okay. What did Black Rob die of? Black Rob died from cardiac arrest at age 52. Hmm. Black Rob died of cardiac arrest. Heavy D died of a blood clot, which is cardiovascular. And Kim Porter died of pneumonia. Hmm. Pneumonia. Two aspects of cardio breakdown. Okay. Now another one. Who else? No, Biggie and Tupac were just outright shot. I'll be sure. What did he almost die of? I just love it. This computer's so freaking slow. I'll be sure almost died of what? What did he almost pass away from? What was Albie Sure's sickness? What was that about? While Al did not explicitly reveal his prognosis, he later provided fans with a detailed review of his time in the hospital. It explained that he suffered from multiple organ failure after being placed in a medically induced coma. Hmm. What drugs cause multiple organ failure? Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. What? Hmm. No. What drugs? Because my spidey senses are telling me it's a drug. These are drugs. What drugs cause multiple organ failure? What's the most common cause of multiple organ failure? It can be well, major trauma, of course, definitely. What drugs can cause multiple organ failure? What drugs can cause multiple organ failure? Hmm. Adatrovastin induced can cause multiple organ failure. That's Adoravastin. Copy it. Make sure we copy that. More than likely, we're going to be revisiting it sooner or later. Now, mind you, a 71-year-old African American woman presented with past medical history sufficient for diabetes. She was being treated with arteovastin and verapamil, in addition to other medications. She complained of nausea, vomiting, myalgia, generalized weakness, and dark urine. Okay, yeah, arteovastin and verapil, as verapil is known to increase the serum concentration of arteovastin significantly. I hope she sued their asses too, because both of those drugs cause that multiple organ failure. Both of those drugs did. Hmm. New synthetic recreational drugs associated with multiple organ failure or serotonin syndrome and even death. Here we go. Certain drugs can cause certain recreational drugs too. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, this is coming up as a. Okay, hold on. Subdol cookies. Associated with ingest of synthetic street drugs. Okay, new synthetic recreational drugs associated with multi-organ failure, serotonin syndrome, and or even death. 25-250 is known as Smiley's or N-Balm. It's a synthetic full agonist of 5-HT2A receptor. It's used for psychedelic properties similar to LSD. There are few reports of 250 toxicity in literature. Toxic effects include hypertension, uh, tachycardia, agitation, aggression, hallucination, seizures, hypothermia, conus, leuke- leuci- oh, I can't, leukocytis, leukocytis, elevated creatine, elevated creatine kinases, metabolic acidosis, and acute kidney injury. That's renal failure. Report, report a case of multiple organ system failure and seizures due to ingestion of 250. 250. Let's see. 250 drug. How can it be given? Now, one thing I do want to know, go back, go away. I'm sorry, y'all. My computer is so slow. Now, 250 drug can be found by laboratory test. Can it be found under laboratory? Okay, sure. Does 251 show up on drug test? The same 250 for multiple organ failure. It's a recreational drug, much like LSD. I got a feeling this is what killed at least two of those people. Can this be found on drug test? If you're referring to 251, NBM, that's the same thing. No, it will not show up. There's no chance that a cup urinalysis will flag as you're the user of this chemical. Even if your sample was taken to a lab for CGIMS, you would have nothing to worry about. At this time, it's simply not a chemical that is flagged by conventional drug testing. And this is go away. Who wrote this and what year was this wrote? Uh, it doesn't show the date. I need to see dates. No, at all. It wouldn't show up on a drug test. Hmm. Oops. Oh, dang it. Y'all can't see this. Uh, Stop screen. Oh, yeah, y'all can't see it on this. Did it stop posting? Okay, here we go. And share screen. And I want to share. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I did a Quira. Oh, allow, please. Did a Quira and wanted to really truly understand if if this drug test could be found out. And it says no. It doesn't show 251 that cause multiple is a street drug that causes multiple organ failure, can cause respiratory failure, can cause a lot of just a series of different calamities concerning internal organs. It will not show up on a drug test. There's no chemical, there's no way to measure it at all. And this is the direction that I would go in concerning. I do feel that these people were nefariously killed. I do feel that Kim Porter was killed, but I also feel that she was drugged. She was given a drug that wouldn't show up on the lab that could cause pneumonia. Now, now 250. Keep that in mind. 250. Now, what drug can cause you pneumonia symptoms? What drugs can cause pneumonia? Because this is what I feel happened to her. Drug-induced pulmonary disease. Symptoms and causes. These includes antibiotics such as neferritin. Hold on. Drug-induced pulmonary disease is lung disease brought on by bad reactions to drugs. Pulmonary means related to the lungs. Thank you. And this is what I feel happened to her. This was a drug-induced pulmonary event. She got pneumonia because it was drug-induced. Now, what type of lung injury can result from medicines and drugs is usually impossible to predict who will develop lung disease from a medicine. Mine are types of lung problems, but hold on. Symptoms, bloody spectrum, chest pain, we know that. Exams and tests, we know that. Treatment, outlook, prognosis. Okay. Okay, hold on. Alternative names. Yeah, I do Kim. For instance, Kim Porter. Her pneumonia, I do feel, was drug induced. I absolutely do feel that. I absolutely do. Mm. I have to research a little bit this a little bit later, but I really do feel that that was exactly the case. Mm. Well, y'all listen. This was very very exciting. What I love about it most of all is just we kind of basically we were really able to put two and two together concerning Puffy's close associations, who his ill behavior is affecting not just himself, but other multinational companies and deep pocketed individuals. So we have to understand and think bigger. This is not just about Puffy. Absolutely not. His behaviors are going to reflect other people that trusted him and that placed him in that position. It's not just about him. And therefore, if it's going to affect these multinational companies, these conglomerates, as well as these individuals, we can expect to see major downfall, maybe even something happening to him. These companies and these people are going to will do anything to quiet him up, to make sure he's quiet. And that's the big deal. It is what it is. Now, hold on. I'm going to change this title. Y'all, listen, be good. Take care of yourself. Thank you so very much for your time. I am going to eat my cocoa pebbles and then lay down. My leg is killing me. But listen, be good. Take care of yourself. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. And I love you. Thanks again. Bye bye, everybody.